Hey people, welcome all of hell's angels and Satanists, or anybody who's not scared of the truth. You know, our country's going to hell right now because the patriots refuse to wake up. But this tells the whole story here. So, King James give us a bad translation of the Bible, and it's not the big words where they get you, it's in these little words. And you can see it, a lot of people recognize the Greek better. In this Ephesians 6:12, it starts here in 11. You know, put on the full armor of God for you to be able to stand against the craft of the devil. But, you know, they use the same word here. Put on the full armor of God, pros, for, pros. We all know that means for or before. The pros are on the top, you know, for. But here's the same word, 43:14, and now it's against. You know, they use the same word for and against. And then you'll see this all through the next line. For it is not to us the wrestling pros for blood and flesh, but against pros for the sovereignties and for pros the authorities, pros for the world rulers of darkness of this eon, and for pros for the spirituals of the wickedness in the heaven lies. You know, this pros, they say it means against all through here, but most other times when you see it in the Bible, it's for, and we know it means for. It still means for today. And so they do the same thing here in the Hebrew. It's all the small words that they're changing. And this word all, you know, I say it means all, and it's O to C bind. And I get all my translations from the ancient letter meaning chart. You know, they're all the same. And I'm gonna hit this one right here, Y, Vav, W, to connect and secure the connection, and Yod, to make, to work, to make. And this is it here, Y, to make amid. You know, to work amid, you know, like a pyramid, fire in the middle, amid them. You're standing amongst, amid, to make amid Satan, all Israel. And so this word all, here they say it's against, but 95 times out of 100, you know, it's over. They'll say it means over or on, above, and it comes up 3,469 times like this. It comes up so many times, I think they've only got it here in the first couple books. It stops in Leviticus, but you see it's on, or even with, offered with, on the burnt offering, or with the burnt, on, was, on, with, not against, but with. You know, those are total opposites. And, you know, they'll change them up because of, according. They'll change it up to fit where they have to, but it's totally got this flipped around. To make amid Satan, all Israel. And so what I was wanting to look at here is these words for numbers. I was working on Genesis 13, and to bind, L of minute, to divide, D-V-I-D, divide of minute, to number. And you see another one here, number is now the cipher, S-P-R-U, the cipher too. And it comes up again here, the number of them. From ciphers, S-P-R-S, from ciphers. If we look at this word for number in Greek, you recognize it. A rhythm, A-R-I-T-H-M-H-S-A-Y. A rhythm, say, a rhythm, to count in a rhythm, arithmetic. And here it is again, to count, a rhythmsate, and here it is again, a rhythm on, A-R-I-T-H-M-O-N, a rhythm on. And so the rhythm comes from this letter N, and you don't see it here, perpetuate or continuous, but it means cycle. It used to be drawn as waves of water. It means the cycles, a rhythm that comes in a cycle. And that's why your word number starts with M, the cycles. The cycle, and you to connect from in the first. The cycle to connect from in the first. First you learn your numbers. And to divine minute, M-N-U-T, the minute. The divide of minute. So this reads a little bit different than what I just gave you. And this is Y amid, W-Y amid. And so Y is an ancient German, Dutch, English word. And it means, everything but why. It means how or who, how, or like or as. In Old Dutch is why or who. And so, you can read this as who amid, why amid, or if you break it down with the ancient letter meaning charts, it's vav, connected, or to make, to work amid, to works amongst Satan, all, and then this tack tells me read this backwards and forwards, and so this isn't just Israel, it's Lars, his rule, and it's where your word larceny comes from, the thieves' rule, R-O-L, R-A-L, and role means your role, your job, the thieves' role, who amid Satan all Lars is rule. And so this Lars, it comes from, Lars derived from the Roman, meaning he who wears the crown of laurel. And who wears the crown of laurel means he who won the fight. It was at the ancient Olympics. If you won, you got to wear the crown of laurel they put on your head. You fought and won it. You took it. Nobody gave it to you. You took it is what it means. And that's where your word larceny come from. You took it. And you see it here, every time they say the etymology of this Etruscan name is unknown. And they'll say that every word that we use today, and they don't want to tell you it comes straight out of the Hebrew Bible. That's what they'll tell you, unknown. But every time you see something that's unknown like that, these words, you'll find them in the Hebrew Bible. Who amid Satan all Lars' rule, all the thieves' rule. Who set, why set? And so this is just one of the ends. This is one end, this is the other. And this S is for secrets or support, to make support, to mark. The wise, when you see the word wise, W-I-S, this is the S used in wise. The wise, who set, and then to, and then read backwards and forwards. To die, to D-Y, today would divide, U-D-V-I-D, today, the wise it today would divide of minute. And then this two before this Israel with a tack in it, this is tailors, T-A-L-A-R-S. The tailors his rule. To tailors his rule means to have it fit for you. To get your clothes tailored. T-A-L-A-R-S. The tailors his rule. Who amid Satan all thieves roll. Why is it today would divide of minute tailors his rule. So if you look at this line in the Greek here, it starts with this key, and this key just replaces that vav. Every time you see something start with that vav, it'll have the key in it. And you see it on this word here too, and the key. And after Israel, you'll see it again come up. And so it's replace this with the vav. So sometimes it means and sometimes it means connected or to, or sometimes it's a W. And it's to a nest, A-N-E-S-T, to a nest of Satan, to a nest of the Satan, the pie. You see, it's not pro isn't against anymore. Now it's the pie. The pie is a circle. You know, in the Hebrew they say it means mouth. I'm pretty sure it means the circle, in Satan's circle. To a nest of Satan's circle. Who amid of Satan all thieves is rule. Who a nest of Satan the circle his rule. And then the ka again, so it's a vav, could be a W of V, sometimes it's a W and it goes with this E here, we pease, P-E, appease, you know, to pease, to make them happy, to P-E-S-E, we appeases, to make them happy, and then the ton. And so you often see this ton come up in a word that in the Hebrew will have the to and the tack, ton, and the ton. But ton means, in this style, the ton was Britain's high society during the late Regency. You know, it means in this context, in the manners, or in this style. Ton. To a nest of Satan, the circle his rule. In Satan's circle of thieves. To appease is the ton, the high society. Divide to a rhythm, say, a rhythm, and say is to count your numbers, to say a rhythm, to count out loud. The ton, his rule. So I enjoy reading this Hebrew much more. It's got so many more secrets hidden in it that they couldn't put them over when they translate it to Greek, or when they try to mistranslate it to Greek. But if you look in this Aleppo Codex, you'll see that they have the Hebrew numbers for all the lines. And if you come down here to 14, you'll see it's the ID, the Yod. And that means hand. And you'll see that here, the Yod is the hand. And they'll mix it up like everything else and give it a bunch of other meanings. Authority. But it's the hand. It's the base word for hand. And all these words over here, this is what they all have in common, is this yod in them. In the hand. In yod. In the hand. They call this the hand, but hand. Yod would be the hand. This should read in the hand. Be in hand. And that's what all these words have, is the yod in common, or should. Some of them don't. And so the people that don't know, you know, they think a hand is 5. It can be 5 is in a hand. But if you look at your hand closely and count the knuckles, you know, you've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, ID, 14 in a hand. And so this is an easy way to remember your 28 days of the month of the waxing and waning, the yod he and the vav he. And there's many ways to remember things in your hand. You know, if you can't remember how many days are in which month, you know, put your hands up and count your first knuckle January, and then the betweens. And every high knuckle is high numbered. And the rest are all one lower, except the first one is February. And you see this in this word, I do, yod, the hand to see, is to know. Identity, you see it in all these words, meaning to know, is to have the hand in them. The yada, you know, the IDOE, the hand see life. And she knew, the known, the hand to see life. The ID at, ADOT, the ID to see mark, is what you know. So who amid Satan all Lars's rule, or to a nest of Satan the circle his rule. So people, you know, Satan's running the world, and he's toting the original Bible, and he give you this King James version. And if you want to stop Satan, you know, you have to quit paying your cable bill. You know, get rid of all your television. And we're going to have to get rid of everybody online this censor us. We're going to have to move to uncensored channels. We're going to have to quit paying our keepers. You know, we paying our jailers. And you have to holler at the Christians and wake them up. You know, they're in the deepest sleep. And they're waiting on the Savior. And Q is done folded. And a lot of them are still waiting on Q, and it's just not happening. This is your cue, the cue to wake you up. All right, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.